prior to Steelhead, we just had paperwork orders, and we figured we'd waste, on average, 4 to 5 hours a day between everyone just chasing paperwork, trying to find where jobs are at, made for just a lot of frustration when there were any issues or when customers called looking for an update on their job. So we needed to have more visibility, more efficiency, see where our bottlenecks were, and Steelhead is the solution that we found to give us that insight and visibility and allow us to grow as we need to and take on more work and keeping our lead times in check and our costs in check.
The traceability literally from every part to entering the job in to every single step of the way, it's just all in there. Photographic evidence, I mean, everything, it's just a game changer.
Scheduling routing has been actually very helpful. Again, like I was saying earlier, it does gives us a lot of vision on where we're at on the floor, being able to adjust jobs on the fly. If we have a customer call that has a hot rush job or anything like that, we're able to again quickly adjust and get that information to the guys on the floor.
The best thing I like about Steelhead software is the coding process. It has been amazing. Before, we had this Excel spreadsheet that just was, equations that were put in there to help us figure out dimensions of parts. Steelhead has been wonderful. It's just the process itself. You put in your numbers, it pulls everything out for you and pops you up with a quote, and it's amazing. And the way it actually feeds back to you and how it reads over to the customer, you're able to look at the PDF before you send it. It's very professional. It's where I wanted us to be as far as where we're going with this plan, and it's amazing. And the feedback from the customers has been great. They love it. They love that it's so easy to read, and it breaks everything down, parts per process, how many you can put in the tank at the same time. It's just amazing. So I would definitely recommend this to anyone who is looking for a quoting style software, and it just takes the guesswork out of everything. It's wonderful.
With the Steelhead program, it took me, maybe 15 minutes of my manager voice showing me the program to initially get in tune with how it worked. The value we get out of it is not having to chase down paperwork. For us on the floor, looking for paperwork, you could spend, half hour to an hour plus looking for paperwork, where somebody set it, if it got set under something else. So we're saving time there. So, you can save up to 3 hours in that aspect. And then, just walking paperwork from station to station, you can save, 5 to 15 minutes.
So with our high volume customers, we've had some issues doing inventory pull systems where we haven't been able to see exactly what batches or quantities we should be running these parts. So by taking the information from a batch of 12 or a batch of 24, we're able to optimize how we should be doing these inventory systems to allow for ideal processing.
So the certifications they're so easy now. Now that all of our guys have the processes down, we're doing all the right stuff, the water breaking, the anchor profile, all the stuff for all the military stuff that needs to get done, it's all getting entered in. So making a cert is literally just button clicking. It's so simple. It's literally just clicks a button, the cert's auto-generated, you sign it on the screen, and you send it to your customer. It streamlines it so fast.
Asset is probably the best word I can think of with using Steelhead. Has tremendously helped us all. We went from having to handwrite everything, 5 to 6 different documents for one PO. More so because we've got those government certifications and we like paperwork, and being able to digitize all of that onto Steelhead, being able to quickly pull it up and know exactly where everything is and have everything at the click of a button saves you not only time, but sanity. So the guys out in the shop used to have to handwrite 20 lines per PO or PO work order, whatever you'd like to call it, of information anywhere from the count of a part, the processing time, the temperature, pH, amperage they're using. Now, all they have to do, click of a button, which on mine, it's helpful because we can take morning, afternoon, and like midday checks, for lack of better terms, and they can pull those, but they still, tap of a button, they can scan a QR code for how long they go into the tank versus out of the tank. No more writing things down, they don't have to type anything in.
I mean, before, if you had to track down paperwork, that was maybe a couple months, a lot easier now. And you could see if someone made a mistake in the process, being able to see directly who that was tied to. So instead of tracking people down and who did this, it makes everything so much more streamlined, so much easier. We used to do, so when I used to search something, it would take a lot longer than it does now. I'd say Steelhead, as far as like me certing things and tracking things down, saves me probably about 2 to 3 hours a day, if I'm being honest. So it's kind of huge.
I like that Steelhead can take my invoicing that I do in their software program and convert it automatically to QuickBooks. I'm able to also see when the customers are emailed their invoices and when the customers have opened the invoices. And also I can tell when the invoice itself gets sent over to QuickBooks.
Steelhead shipping is it's still fresh, but it is definitely a leg up over, again, my previous software usage. I am able to create packing list and ship a shipment while walking from my office to the shipping dock via a tablet or my cell phone. I can't do that with any other software.
So when I'm meeting with customers on site, I can use my phone to show them where we are heavy, where we're light within our shop. Right now, we have our dashboard set up where each station has a capacity, and we're able to see whether we're over or under that for today, for this month, for this year. We can see where we're at just off my phone when I'm in front of the customer. So we have customers calling, trying to track their order based on purchase order number. By looking at my phone right now, I can see that there are multiple purchase orders on this particular cart, and we're gonna be able to track when those get through our coding station and when they're all able to ship.
Prior to Steelhead, we didn't know exactly where we were making money and where the profits weren't. And since we've implemented Steelhead and tracked all the inputs all the way through the plant, we now know what was profitable, what wasn't, and exactly what our margins are. That's really helped us to increase our profitability and to guide the company and where it's going to go.
We ran across a lot of issues with data loss, inconsistent data, a hard time finding accurate information. The information that we get from Steelhead seems to be 100% accurate every time. Saves me lots of time, and as we all know, time is money. In the first month of operation, Steelhead managed to not only stop a potential error from happening, but it saved me about $10,000 in mistakes.
One of the biggest things is the support they give. It's top notch. Like it's one of my favorite things for sure. And the potential that comes with that support. We can have weekly meetings, you can have daily meetings. I can call them 3 times a day, and they're gonna pick up the phone, they're gonna answer, and they're gonna help me solve the problems. If I have a problem, hey, this isn't scanning right, boom, there's a text message and someone's on it. It's just ridiculously fast support. So that's huge because it's worth its weight in gold right there. If you're sitting there and you don't have a problem and you can't move a part forward and you don't get that day support, well, then that part has to stay there. It can't move forward. When you get support in 5 to 10 minutes, I mean, it's perfect, because then those parts aren't going to be stuck in limbo. They're going to be able to get moved through your shop and out your door, and your customer's not going to feel that at all.
Once this all got started, we would have phone calls for about an hour a day, just kind of going over how their system worked, how to get it implemented on our floor. I would say within about 2 weeks, we were starting to run jobs through successfully out on the floor.
So the deployment process, in my experience, has been actually surprisingly quite good. I've dealt with different softwares in different industries over the years, and this one was actually quite easy. I love the fact that it works well, and it's able to help us go from the Stone Age to the digital age. So it's been very, very, very good.